This is Jarrod Horak for the RunawayHorse.com. Welcome to my final video this week. I'm going to preview the upcoming Del Mar Summer Meet. Now, if you're interested in my full card analysis from Del Mar, head on over to the RunawayHorse.com. You will find those full cards on my sales page. The Del Mar Summer Meet begins Friday, July 22nd, and you can purchase the entire meet, weekly and weekend packages, and individual full cards as well. You can find all that information at therunawayhorse.com on my sales page. And if you're interested in free stake selections from Saratoga on our Breeders' Cup 2022 page, my handicapping colleague, Dr. Atlas, will be covering stakes races from Saratoga this summer. And then if you're interested in bonus free selections from Del Mar, go over to the official Del Mar website, dmtc.com, click on the handicapping tab, and then you'll see tools, and then click free picks. And once you click on that tab, scroll down until you see Horse Racing Nation, click View Website. You will be able to find a bonus of free selection from Del Mar each day that I will be posting. And I will provide the links to the description in this video for that Del Mar free pick. Also for my Horse Racing Nation Best Bets blog that I post a free selection from Horse Racing Nation each day. I had a nice 5-to-1 stakes winner today at Saratoga on that Horse Racing Nation Best Bets blog with the exacta and the trifecta defeating that 1-to-5 favorite. Check out the description in this video for the links for that Del Mar free pick, Horse Racing Nation free pick, and the RunawayHorse.com stuff as well. Now, for Del Mar this year, Flavien Prat's not riding at Del Mar. He's riding at Saratoga this summer. So Flavien Prat relocated to the East Coast, and he's riding at Saratoga. He would have been the favorite to be the leading rider at Del Mar. So now the Del Mar jockey colony seems a bit more wide open. Florent Geroux is going to ride at Del Mar this summer, and he's one that should make an impact coming in from the Midwest. And another rider, Umberto Reese, he was one that he did relocate briefly to the East Coast when Flavien Prat did in the spring, but he did not have the success that Prat had, and he came back to Southern California. And then he started to get into a groove later in the meet during the Santa Anita meet, and now I expect that he's going to be on a lot of live horses for Del Mar, and he should be one of the top riders at the summer meet. Juan Hernandez, the leading rider at Santa Anita Park, should win a lot of races at Del Mar this summer. Some other riders that I think would do well, Joe Bravo, Ramon Vasquez, he's one that relocated from the Midwest to Southern California, and he was having some success at Santa Anita Park. Abel Cedillo, he gets a lot of mounts. He'll win a decent number of races. Kyle Frey, he relocated from Northern California, and he should win some races as well, along with a lot of other riders like Edwin Maldonado, and you're going to see other riders like Drayden Van Dyke, and plenty more. Tyler Bays, another one. The leading trainers, you're going to see Phil D'Amato and Doug O'Neill. They're going to win a lot of races. Wouldn't be surprised if either of those trainers were the leading trainer. John Sadler, the same names. Bob Baffert recently back from suspension. He's going to win a lot of races this summer at Del Mar. So typically the big trainers that have a lot of horses that typically win at Del Mar this summer will win some races. Maybe a trainer you're not that familiar with that could win a decent number of races at Del Mar. George Papapadromo. Now, he took over a lot of the horses from suspended trainer Richard Baltas, and he was having success at Santa Anita, and I would expect that he's going to continue to have success during the Del Mar meet, and he won't take as much action as some of the other bigger names that I mentioned. So keep an eye out for all those. Now for the betting menu at Del Mar this summer, just like the other years, their betting menu is the same. Something that's different from Santa Anita is that Del Mar offers $2 Quinellas on each race. Santa Anita just has an exacta. Now, sometimes the Quinella can come in handy. If you look at the payouts on the exacta and the Quinella and you see value, sometimes you can find value on those. And it's also fun to bet like a win and a Quinella. So you like a horse at 6-to-1, you can bet them to win. So you bet 20 to win, and then you play a $10 Quinella, and you can hit both wagers if that horse wins. And if he finishes second, you still get a $10 copy of the Quinella. Just like Santa Anita, they have $1 exactas, 50-cent trifectas, a 10-cent superfecta. Now, another wager that's unique to Del Mar that used to be all over Southern California was the $1 place pick all. Now, back in the day, I've hit this bet many times, and I never really bet more than $16. So anywhere from $4 to $16 was typically how much I bet. Had a lot of signers with it over the years. It's just a fun wager. It gets you through the whole card. So basically, you bet the $1 place pick all. If your horse finishes first or second, that counts as a win. And if you have the horse in all the races, let's say it's a place pick 9. If you have all 9, you win. Sometimes nobody has 9. 8 out of 9 pays, and you can cash that way as well. If nobody has them all, and you still at least have as many as you need to cash the wager. So that place pick all is a fun wager. It covers all the races, and maybe you just bet a few dollars on it, and you get lucky, and you could hit that. And another wager that Del Mar has, it's just for their last race. Now, Santa Anita has rolling super high fives and with carryovers, but Del Mar just has one super high five. It's on the last race. It's 50 cents. And then if nobody hits it, it will carry over. And occasionally during the meet, you'll see some carryovers. So that 50-cent super high five, I'm not a big high five player, but occasionally I will play that high five at Del Mar because it's only available on one race. And if I have a good opinion in that race, I will make that wager. So the 50-cent super high five on the last race at Del Mar each day. They also last year went to the 20-cent Rainbow Six. Del Mar was one of the last tracks to have the $2 pick six. They switched to the 20-cent pick six last summer. Some of those pools were pretty large, and they'll have decent carryovers, and it'll get up there pretty quick. They're going to have some mandatory payouts. I think 3 times during the meet, Del Mar is going to have mandatory payouts. So keep an eye on that. That bet becomes particularly good when they have those mandatory payouts, and then the pool will soar to over 5 million or so, and then including that carryover. So those are the wagers to look for at Del Mar this summer for their betting menu. Now, a couple angles to look for at Del Mar. Turf sprints. Now remember, Santa Anita, typically, they will run some shorter turf sprints, 5.5 furlongs, but a lot of the turf sprints at Santa Anita, 6 and 6.5 furlongs. Sometimes 6.5 furlongs out of the chute, sometimes 6.5 furlongs on the downhill course. Either way, Del Mar runs 5 furlong turf sprints, a much different scenario there. So look for horses that had success at 5 furlongs on turf at Del Mar before. They typically do well. Those horses that ran well at 6 and 6.5 furlongs at Santa Anita may not do well at the 5 furlong abbreviated distance at Del Mar. Now, another one is turf dirt route speed at Santa Anita. Now, a lot of times you saw in some of the dirt routes, and when there was a speed bias surface, that dirt routes were just dominated by speed horses at Santa Anita. Now, sometimes at Del Mar, and especially, you'll see different biases, and then especially earlier in the meet, you'll see horses be able to rally off the pace more than they did at Santa Anita in dirt routes at Del Mar. So some of those speed horses that did well at Santa Anita in dirt routes may take too much money, especially earlier in the meet at Del Mar, and then look for those late runners. So those are some of the angles that I like to look for in the turf sprints to try to avoid the horses that had a lot of success at 6 and 6.5 at Santa Anita, running 5 furlongs at Del Mar, especially if they're taking too much money. Same thing with those dirt route horses coming from Santa Anita that showed a lot of speed, especially if they're taking too much action, and you can get an overlay at Del Mar. You're going to see a lot more value at Del Mar, bigger fields, more competitive races than you saw at Santa Anita. So Del Mar is always a fun meet in the summer, and we'll catch up with the Del Mar meet as it goes on. Like Saratoga, I'll go through those and see some of the hot connections, and then maybe any track bias information that comes up. We'll be covering all that in these videos. So that will wrap up this week's videos. I covered the Haskell Stakes. I looked back at the Saratoga week 1, previewed week 2, and now I'm previewing the Del Mar meet. And then next week I'll be back with some more horse racing videos. Until then, good luck at the races.